Hello everyone, this is your girl Jenny. On today's video, I will be going over the qualification for KGSP, basically age, nationality requirement, age, GPA, and all the document that you will be needed. And I will be using last year guideline as a reference. So first you have to go to Google and you search study in Korea. The first website that pop up, studyinkorea.go.kr, is the official website. You click on it. Why is it so slow? Then you want to go to scholarship, and JKS notice. Oh, for those of you who are asking when will this year guideline will come out, there is an announcement that this year guideline there will be a delay and will come out mid-February, meaning most likely 3 weeks from now. You can keep checking this website and see when it will come out, but this is not what we need. We need last year guideline. Let's go to the second page to find it. And this is it. 2020 Global Career Scholarship for Graduate Degree. And when you click on it, you have to download all those forms. The first one is the application form. The second one is the frequently asked question. I will be making a video next weekend talking about, some of the questions, do a Q&A video. Then you have the university information file, which is a really important file because it has all the available university, the major that the available major, have the language of study, also have information about location, dorm price, and etc. But now we are interested for the application guideline in English, which I already downloaded. I just need to open it. So this is it. When you open it, the first thing that you will need to do, you need to make sure that your country is in the, you want to make sure that your country is in the list, which is the nationality requirement. So this is basically information. Last year, the Korean invited 1,276 students from 145 countries, so basically all over the world. So you need to make sure this is for embassy track quota, and you need to make sure that your country is in the list. For example, this is my country, 80, and only have one quota, which means my country can only send one student. So that's really competitive. If there are a lot of Asians that apply for the scholarship. Indonesia, for example, can send 26 students. India can send 22. Then we have Cote d'Ivoire can send 4. Dominican Republic, 3. So basically, just go to the list to look for your country and see how many students that can apply. Japan 10, or US 16. So basically, it's like every continent is represented. So that's the embassy quota. And they also have a special quota for overseas Korean, which we will not talk about. And if you decide to apply via embassy, you will have to send your document to the embassy of your respective country. And NID gave you an appendix B where you will be able to see the list of the Korean embassy and also the phone number if you want to contact them. And for those students that want to apply, and if you're applying via embassy, you can choose 3 universities. And you have to choose at least one university must be in type B university, which we will see later on. Then this is the university quota. If you want to apply directly via university, you need to make sure that your country is in the list. My country is not on the list. I can only apply via embassy, so the decision was really easy. But for you, if your country is in both, you have to make a decision. Do you want to apply via embassy or do you want to apply via university? Because you cannot choose both. You can only choose one. Then the list. So, and yeah, so if you decide to apply via university, you have to submit your document directly to the university that you choose. And they also have a research program. I don't know much about the research program. I only know master or PhD, so I won't talk about the research program. But the research program is for current professor that want to go to Korea to do some research. And this is the list of universities. You have type A universities, which is Chonong is on there, and Hanguk, CAS is a really good, Korea University, Konghi, yeah, and then you have type B university, like Busan, Chonong, Daejeon. Yeah, I'm guessing are most likely those universities are not in Seoul, and you have to choose at least one of them. All of them, they like outside of Seoul. Yeah, outside of Seoul University, so at least one of your university. If you're applying via embassy, you need to be outside of Seoul. You have to choose one of them in type B and two in type A, or three. I mean, up to you. But at least one needs to be in type B, as we saw in the second page. And available for your major. So basically, you have to download the university information file, as I mentioned, and on it they have all the detailed information about majors. And if your file of study, it's not in the university information file, it's most likely it's not available for KGSP, you can always contact the university directly to make sure that it is available. And like they say, some school might be, your major might be only in English, or it might be, in Korean. So you basically need to double check, to your school and know, do your due diligence. And you won't be able to do night school, short term, or online. It's a full time. If you get the scholarship, you have to study full time in person. So eligibility, your nationality, you and your parents cannot have a Korean citizenship. And if your parents basically have a Korean citizenship, they had to renounce it, have another university citizenship, and then submit it. Your age, you must be under 40. So as long as you're under 40, you can apply for the scholarship. And if you're applying for the research, which I mentioned, of a professor, you have to be under 45. Yeah, so this is like the research one. So this is the degree requirement. So if right now, for example, some people want to apply for this year, but they are still in school, they can still apply. You will just need to have to ask your school to give you an expected diploma, like a completion date, same as your transcript. But you need to have all your diploma and your transcript before August, by the last day of August, so August 31st, 2021, because that's when there will be the orientation and stuff. You need to have your document by that. So if you're still in school and you won't be getting your document, for example, until this coming September or October, you won't be able to apply. You have to wait until 2022 application. But if you will be able to get your diploma, maybe by July or by August, you can apply. So of course, if you're applying for PhD, you need to have a master degree. If you're applying for master, you need to have a bachelor degree or equivalent. And those that are doing the research program, they need to have a whole degree higher than master. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not talking about degree. I mean, this is like self-explanatory. You're applying for PhD, so of course you need to have your bachelor degree and your master already. And if you're applying for master degree, you just need your bachelor degree. That is the and yeah, so that's what I was talking about. If you're still in school, you can still apply. You just need to submit the certificate of expected graduation at the time of applying, and all your official diploma, certificate, and transcript, they need to be submitted no later, so that will be August 31st, 2021. And if you don't have them by that date, you will have to give up the scholarship. And so if you already have, if you graduate from a Korean university for your master or your PhD, unfortunately, you cannot apply for KGSP unless if you are an overseas Korean adoptee or you had the scholarship before. For example, like me, I'm a former KGSP. If I didn't want to come back to the state, I could have applied again for PhD. And if you are just study, Korean, or if you are just an exchange or visiting student, you can apply for KGSP. It's only those that graduate in the Korean university that cannot apply. If you are just an exchange or study Korean, you can still apply for KGSP. And this is like for the one that want to do Korean teaching professional, which I don't know about. So if you're a former KGSP, you want to apply for it, you can apply via embassy or university. And you can only reapply for a higher degree. So if before you were doing bachelor, then you can apply for master. If you were doing master, now you can apply only for PhD, and your grade needs to be higher than 90%. So for those that are not former KGSP, your grade you just need 80%, which means 264 if your school use a 4.0, 2.8 if your school use a 4.3 scale, 2.91 if your school use a 4.5, and 3.23 if your school use a 5. I will be making another video talking more about the GPA requirement. And some school, they use a different scale, and also in some school, it's really hard to get 80%. So if you have less than 80%, you can still apply for KGSP, but you need to be top 20 in your class. So you need your professor or the dean, the principal of your school, to give you a paper that state that you graduate top 20% of your class if you have less than 80%. So it's either have 80% or rank top 20% in your class. And if you're a former KGSP or current KGSP, you need to have a 90% or above, or top 10% of your class to apply. And they 90 also give you a GPA conversion table for those of you that use a different scale. Yeah, like I said, I will be making another video going more deep into that. And of course, if you don't have the minimum GPA requirement, you won't get the scholarship. And like I said, and also, like if your transcript does not include information on grade average, or you cannot convert it, you have to submit an official document issued by your university that describes the grading system that they use. Health, so of course you need to be in good health, both mentally or physically, to study in Korea. They have a personal health assessment document that you have to answer. And if you pass the second round, meaning 90 round, and if you apply via embassy, your embassy will send it to 90. If you pass 90, they will send it to university. And if you pass, there will be a full medical exam that will check for drug, for like contagious disease. It's like a full checkup. And if you fail the checkup, unfortunately, you won't get the scholarship. So basically, like if you test positive for drug, or if you have a serious illness that prevents you to study abroad for a long time, then you cannot have it. So it's now they just like mention it again. If you have obtained your bachelor, master, and or PhD in Korea, you cannot apply. Exception if you're an overseas Korean adoptee of a former KGSP. And if you were only in Korea to study Korean or exchange or visiting student, you can apply for KGSP. And also, if you apply for the scholarship before, you were selected and you decide not to go to Korea, you won't be able to apply. But if you are a former KGSP and you weren't able to get level 3, you can, and you had to go back to your country, you can apply again, but this time you will need to have level 5. And also, if you are a former KGSP, you want to reapply, you also need to get level 5 or 6. The reason is because they won't pay for the language score again. You have to go straight to your degree. So you need to have level 5 or 6 in order to reapply. Preference. So, of course, they give preference to those who speak Korean. So you need the topic, and those who have proficiency in English. You have like a TOEFL, TOEIC, or EILTS. Even though like proficiency in Korean and English is not a requirement, you can apply to the scholarship without having them. But if you do have them, they will give it a preference. You have a higher chance of getting the scholarship. And also, if you're applying if your field of study is related to natural sciences or engineering, you have a preference, a higher priority to get it. If your major fell under industrial professional training project, you also priority. If academic professor holding citizenship of developing countries, they are given priority. If you're a descendant of Korean War veteran, if you're applicant from low-income family or underprivileged background, will give preference. So in this one, like when you're writing your personal statement, if your family is rich, basically don't mention it, because if you have money, why will you want to apply to the scholarship and when you can pay for it? So in your personal statement, make sure to mention, like you want to study in Korea, it's your dream to study in Korea, but you cannot afford it, which is why you are applying for the scholarship, because they give preference to those that are from low-income family. And also, if you are confirmed to be third generation or post-third generation of overseas Korean, you have preferences. The truth is, like, no one really know how they calculate or they go over document, because like if you look on Facebook, you will see students that have like 3.7 GPA, that have like work experience, volunteer work, that have like topic, and they still fail this. They did not get it. And other students that have like just 80% or 2.64 over 4 or like 3.0 GPA, really low GPA, and they get the scholarship. So that's why it's like, make sure that all your documents, it's really in order. Your personal statement, your study plan, your goal after graduation, like make sure everything is really in order, and because luck play a huge part on this. And this is the list of required documents. So of course you will need the application form. It's required for whatever you apply for master or PhD. You need your personal statement, statement of purpose, KGSP. And if you haven't yet, you should watch my live stream where I went over all the application form, my study plan form when I apply. I basically show you guys my application, the one that I sent to the embassy. And research proposal, it's only for those that are applying for research. You need 2 letters of recommendation, university official letter of recommendation, only for those who are applying for research. You will need your KGSP applicant agreement, personal medical assessment. So if you're applying you need your bachelor degree. They need to be original. Original means notarized or apostille. Of course, you need your transcript, your parent proof of citizenship. You need if you have language, topic, score, you can add it, but they are optional. You need your English proficiency test, published paper, research paper, award, or the certificate. All those are optional. And if you pass NAID round, you most likely will have to do them. You will have to do the medical examination result. And all your documents must be written either in Korean or English. If not, you will have to get them translated and then notarized. If they're not in Korean and English, they have to be translate and authenticate it or notarize, and all your document must be in original form. So if you have to, so basically you have to submit your photocopy, right? Because they won't return any document back to you. So what you have to do, you have to notarize or apostille the photocopy. And once you do that, the photocopy will become an original document. Notarize, and you see all your documents will not be returned to you in any cases, which is why you cannot submit the original document. You have to get them. Make a copy of your original document, get them notarized or apostille, and then they will become original, and this is what you will send. And this is really important. All your documents must be submitted in the order of the checklist. So this is the checklist. You will also have it in the application form, like in this one. We can download it later. And you have to, this is the application form, and you have to submit your document in the same order that they are in the list. This is the application form, and this is, you select the list. So first, you have to put your application form, then you have to put your personal statement, then statement of purpose, your letter of recommendation. So all the documents you click yes, 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 yes that you have to put them in the same order that this is. So application form in top, personal statement in the bottom, and second, then statement of purpose, research. I mean, all they have that you have, they have to be in this order, and it's really important to be in this order.